Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. It's July 24th, 2023. Great to be with all of you today. My name is Bob Lang, and it's time for our daily bites. We bring these to you every Monday and Thursday morning, roughly around 8:30, 8:45, to kind of get a glimpse of what the market may do over the next coming days and where it's been the last couple of days, to kind of get an idea about things. So remember something. We're still kind of in the end, maybe the ninth inning here of this bear market, and we're trying to see if we can push this market into a bull market, which by my work wouldn't happen probably till the beginning of September if we get a crossover move in the MACD. We still have 6 more trading days in July to get that crossover move. It looks like it's going to be there, but of course, you know what? We still have 6 trading days left this month, 5 days this week, and then 1 day on Monday of next week will be the last trading day of July. So we really have to pay attention to what's going on. Of course, if the markets pull back this week, they don't like what the Fed has to say. They don't like the earnings coming out from big tech and some of these other names this week, and we do get whacked. The SP 500 is up about 2.6% for the month of July. If we come back down and moving averages come down along with it too towards the end of the week, well, we have to start over again, and we won't possibly have a bull market for another month. So what by my work, as you guys often hear me talk about, I look at the MACD from a monthly point of view. Let's take a look at that chart right now and see if we can explain this to you. Again, this is just my view. This is not anything that's written down anywhere in any books. This is just my view. This is what works for me. And you know what? Some things that don't work, that work for me, don't work for you or don't work for other people. That's fine, right? Remember something, technical analysis is all about interpretation. It's all about what we see with our eyes and how we interpret things, right? We can all look at a painting or a piece of art and come up with a different interpretation of what we think it is based on what our minds see that piece of art or what our eyes look at and so forth. So there's nothing really scientific about this. It's just something that I've used, a tool that I've used over my career over years, and it works for me. So what is that? And basically it's looking at the MACD on a monthly chart, and I like to see a crossover from the black line to the red line and a confirmation in the next bar over. So look down over here. We are now getting that crossover. Now, some people thought that we had that crossover at the end of June. No, we didn't have it. We came very, very close. But now these moving averages in the month of July are crossing over here. So if we close above last month's close in the S&P 500, let's call it 4450, and we're about 2%, a little over 2% above there right now. We're going to get that crossover. But crossover moves are generally bullish on the upside and bearish to the downside. However, I like to see a confirmation move that feels like there's some conviction on that move. And that confirmation move, if we do get that crossover in July, won't come until the end of August, right? Got to have another up move, possibly, or at least a sideways move, and see that MACD remain crossed over in the month of August. So the earliest I could see a bull market starting. And again, all that simply means is we pull out the bull market playbook and put away the bear market playbook for the time being, right? And there's different trading methodologies that you use with the bull playbook versus the bear playbook. So all it means is that we're going to pull out the bull playbook. It doesn't mean we're going to change too much in our strategies and our tactics, right? But we have to be able to recognize and identify when the environment changes, we have to change what we do, okay? So if we get a confirmation in August, if this holds true for the month of July, we get this confirmation in August, then we can move towards that bull market. So I also want to talk about what's happening this week. We do have quite a bit on tap with earnings. Verizon tomorrow morning. We have an XPI tonight, Microsoft, Alphabet tomorrow. Of course, we have Meta and Chipotle, ServiceNow, Lam Research tomorrow, Wednesday night, McDonald's Thursday morning. Also tomorrow night we have Snap at Visa, Teladoc tomorrow morning, 3M, General Electric, General Motors. Nucor, Raytheon Technology. So a lot of names coming out this week that are going to possibly make some moves for the market. And by the way, Fed meeting coming out starts tomorrow. It will end on Wednesday with a rate decision, which the market is pretty much baked in almost nearly a 100% chance of a rate hike on Thursday, bringing Fed funds rate up to 5.25 to 5.5%. You can see that right here. We're currently 5 to 5.25, 99.8% chance here. So the Fed is not going to miss this opportunity to raise interest rates when the market is expecting it. Why would they back off? They're basically getting a free pass from the market without much volatility. We see the VIX at 13%. Currently this morning, we do see the markets are going to rise a little bit. We did have a good move up most of the day on Friday, but finished really poorly. I think this is mostly set up due to options expiration on Friday. That's over. We could get a little bit of a hangover today from that options expiration, but still, up above 45.70 on futures. Nasdaq's getting a little bit of a bump. We do see rates coming down. Bonds are higher a little bit this morning as well. So we could get some nice movements here. We do see the market is pretty well bid, yet volatility is also very well bid here. So we might have a little bit of a stalemate going on this morning. So what am I looking at today so far? Well, of course, the S&P 500, I did show you this one. So as far as names this morning, this week, I'm looking at, I'll be looking at Shopify today, which actually had an upgrade today as well too. I've been in this name for a little bit. We did take some profits on it last week. It's pulled back a little bit to the 20-day moving average. It might be something that we might take a look at today. I'm also looking at Boeing. They have earnings coming out on Wednesday morning before the open. The chart really looks dreadful right here. Higher lows, lower highs. It's really, guys, no trend in place right here. But if we get above this $220 level, we could get a nice bounce off of that and back up towards 230 if earnings are taken nicely on Wednesday morning. I'm also looking at again Microsoft and Alphabet. I do have quite a few contracts on those names going into earnings tomorrow. Google, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, all these big names coming out with earnings. Apple next week. Meta this week, I might take a pass on that one. I don't know. We'll see what happens on Wednesday. Chipotle comes out later on in the afternoon on Wednesday as well too. It's been kind of sideways over here. If last quarter is any indication, a lot of times these companies come out with about 3 quarters in a row of really strong earnings. So of course they had a really big earnings report in April. Stock gapped up and went up well over $200 on that day. And it's really hung out here and built a nice base. Of course, it's my good as one of the legendary technicians, Luis Amato, once said, the longer the base, the higher the space. And what that simply means is the longer the stock goes in the base, the higher it's going to go up when it finally breaks out. So we could get that move on Chipotle coming up later on this week. I've also looked at General Electric as well too. GE has been a very, very strong chart in strong name in 2023. You can see it went from about 78 to all the way up to about $110 in about 6 months. Stock is up about 50% roughly in about that time. Very, very strong chart. Higher highs, higher lows, been getting support at that 20-day moving average. Of course, they spun off General Electric Healthcare earlier this year, and I guess they're going to be spinning off the aerospace part later on this year, if not early 2024. So this is a stock that I'm looking at as well. McDonald's, which is a name that we like in Action Alerts Plus. Chris and I talked about this last week. We put it in the bullpen. This is a stock that could really fire up and get above $300. And then finally, a name that I was on, I've been on recently and added in our portfolio, Procter & Gamble. Big day on Friday. They come out with earnings on Friday morning before the market opens. This is the stock that I think really has got some legs. It's going to get up to this 160 area pretty soon. So take a look at that. I think that right over here has some resistance. But we get above that area here, this 155, 156 noisy area. we're going to get some movement back up towards those all-time highs. So I like this one. It had a really big volume day on Friday. Don't forget, today is that day that the NASDAQ is going to be rebalancing. NASDAQ 100 is going to rebalance later on today. I think it's just basically a non-event, but people are going to be talking about it, of course. But it's not really that big of a deal. After today, it won't be meaningful to us any longer. So, so we have a lot of earnings coming out, a lot of data coming out. We'd have 6 more days until the end of the month trading, and then we start up with August. So that's going to be it, everyone. I did want to make one comment here, and you know, I learned over the weekend that a good friend of mine, trading buddy of mine who I've known for quite a bit, Rob Smith, passed away over the weekend from an illness he'd been suffering from for the last month or so. So Rob's a great guy. We've been really good friends. I put a picture of him and I out on Twitter that we when we met in 2017 in Chicago, came in and talked to my group. And I love Rob very much, and he was such a nice man, very generous, extremely kind and helpful and smart as a whip. His dad was a broker back and lived and worked on the floor many years ago, and you know, he was really just a large man in terms of heart and soul. And I know Rob's going to be missed extremely much here. He just had his daughter gave birth to a new little grandson earlier this year, and I know he was extremely proud and happy for his birth. And he got a new dog, Cassie, who was a border collie Aussie Shepherd mix. Almost looked identical to my new dog Tony, and we talked about our dogs. And he always was rooting for my school, San Diego State. Of course, he liked Northwestern, but he was always rooting for San Diego State when they were playing basketball or football, and we would exchange text messages and so forth. So very sad news to hear about Rob. He was a great man, and we hope that the strat will live on. He created this little trading technique called the strat, and taught it to anybody who would listen, and gave his opportunities out there. And really going to miss Rob, and rest in peace, my friend. And we'll see you on the other side. Anyway, that's going to be it, everyone. That's why I played Back in Black. Rob in the Black was his name, his handle on Twitter. And everyone, I wish you guys all a great trading day. I'll see you guys all back on Thursday morning. Trade well today. Be careful. Keep some protection on. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Keep some protection on. Raise some cash today when you can, and wait for the next movements that will be coming out. So I'm pay attention to what the market message is, and move forward. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Have a great trading week, and I'll see you guys all on Thursday morning. Take care.